Hi and welcome to a new video. This time we're going to talk about the new building blocks and how to set up a simple multiplayer with MetaQuest building blocks in Unity. We're going to use Photon and we're going to set up this project totally from scratch so you can try to replicate everything on your side, pause the video when necessary, and I hope this will be helpful to you. So let's get started. First of all, we're creating a new project with Unity Hub. I'm using the URP render pipeline, naming my project, click on Create Project, and we're waiting for it to finish. So after everything is set up, you see that this is a completely empty package, empty project. We're first going to remove the README assets as we won't need them here. Delete the main camera and switch to Android. Build settings, select Android, switch platform. So first of all, we're going to use the Meta all-in-one SDK package from the Unity Asset Store, which can be found here. Just open it in Unity or install it via the package manager. Here is the Meta XR all-in-one SDK, and I'm clicking on install. So everything I need will be installed now. When everything is downloaded and installed, we'll have to restart the editor. I'll click on Restart Editor and wait a second for everything to restart. Save the sample scene, yeah, okay. And as you can see here, the all-in-one SDK is installed, the core SDK and the simulator. The simulator will be important later on for testing. So let's go over here to the project settings. There are outstanding required fixes. So first of all, we have to go to the XR plugin management and click on install. Then set everything to Oculus. If you want to use MetaLink, you can enable Oculus in standalone too, although it's not required for this one to run. And within the Oculus settings, let's say that we want to target Quest 3.2, maybe also Quest Pro, doesn't really matter here. And everything is set up now. Let's go on to the player settings. There will be a few changes here, but we'll do that via the Meta XR project setup tool. We're going to Meta XR, click on Fix All. Everything will be fixed, and again on Apply All. And wait for the tool to finish working. Everything is set up now. Let's go back to player, scroll down a little bit to the package name. I'll just rename it to something that's a little bit shorter than this. Let's call it XR test. Everything is set up here, that's cool. Okay, and the next step is to go to Oculus Tools, Building Blocks, and use the building blocks for our experience. So first of all, click on the camera rig. We'll add controller tracking here, which will usually be enough to add hand tracking as well. And go to auto matchmaking, which will be very, very useful for our testing environment. And we're going to use Photon here, Photon Fusion. And again, the building blocks tells us that Photon Fusion is needed here. So I click on cancel, go back to the asset store, open the Photon Fusion page, and it's already added to my assets. I forgot to refresh it and install it into a Unity project. Again, you can go to the package manager here, window, package manager, and Fusion. Here it is. Go to download. I already downloaded it, so I click on import already. Import it. Wait for it to finish. And after everything is finished, we see the Photon Fusion 2 Hub window, which asks us for a Fusion app ID. And you can just click on open the Photon dashboard and create a new app in their online platform on their dashboard. You will have to create an account, of course, for first. And then, let's see, you go to your dashboard, click on create a new app, and then you'll get this one here. Clicking on the app ID reveals it completely. You can copy it and just take it back to Unity paste it here and close the Photon window. So Photon is basically, Photon Fusion is set up now. You can just close the package manager, and if we're now going to auto matchmaking, select Photon Fusion and click on confirm. It's added here as a building block, and we're not going to cover everything here because this should just be a simple setup. We're going to just add, where is it? A networked grabbable object. This will just be a cube here. It should not use gravity. So here we go. Close the building blocks now, and the current version of the controller tracking has a little issue here, because when I'm going here to the building block camera rig, building block interaction, controller interactions, left controller and the controller visual, you'll see that this OVL controller helper is empty. So I'll click here on the little target, select the building block controller tracking left, and check the same on the right controller. Here is the building block left, but it should be building block right. So we just need to change that now to get the correct visuals here and the correct functionality for our building block. So that's basically it. Let's look at the cube. The material is not right, so I just will create a default material, right click folder, materials, go in there, create material default, matte. I guess that this cube was intended to be used by the built-in render pipeline. Just give it a default material and move it up 1 meter so it will not stick to the ground when testing. That's basically the setup. The multiplayer itself will be working now, and we're going to check it via the Meta XR simulator. So you can just go to Oculus Meta XR simulator, activate it, and as soon as you get this XR runtime JSON console log message, it's activated, and we're going to use a synthetic environment server like, I don't know, the game room. We're launching it. We're just letting it communicate over the network. And the server is now started. We have this picture of our environment, and if we now click play in the editor, the simulator starts. And we can move around, looking around by right click, using mouse wheel click to pan the scene, the arrow keys or WASD for moving around. And there are keyboard bindings here. Let's just disable all the other stuff where you can see, okay, the grabbing is with you and so on. This is all for the American keyboard. So on a German keyboard layout, you have to press the tick button. It's the button before the backspace button to switch your input devices here. This controls here, although it's not really needed now. So as I press U, this is the grip button, you can see it here already working. So I'll move over here, hold U, and I can drag the cube around. And as this is already a networked cube, this will also be a networked interaction. So I'm exiting the session and building this for my quest, deploying it to my quest, and then we can try it in a environment where both clients are networked. We can just use the MetaQuest Developer Hub for getting the stream. And before diving into the Quest Developer Hub, we're just going to File, Build Settings, make sure that your Quest 3 is selected here and the sample scene, and we're going to click Build and Run to build and run it on our Quest device. So after the build is finished and the application is running on my Quest device, I'm going to the MetaQuest Developer Hub and click on BetaCast 2 to start the casting. And as you can see, this is my headset view now, and I can use hand tracking to grab the cube and move it around. And as soon as I start the editor, it will take a second for the simulator to start. You can see that this cube is already synced, so it has the position that is basically the same as my cube in my direct view. And if I now look down here, this is the cube, and I grab it with my hand and move it around, it moves around in the simulator as well. There is no visual representation of my avatar yet, so don't worry if you don't see anything. And if I now go closer with the simulator, make my controller collide with the cube, press U and rotate, and as you can see in my headset view, the cube is moving away or closer to me. So the movement is synced via the network. An internet connection is necessary, of course, but this is how you create a networked app on Quest 3 in Unity in basically less than 10 minutes. So I hope this was helpful. Hope you had fun. Hope everything will help you implement your own multiplayer game and functionality. And please like and subscribe. It's helping me a lot creating those videos. And leave a comment if you like the video and if you have any suggestions for future videos, especially regarding maybe the building block system or multiplayer stuff that could be useful for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.